What, you mean gender identity existed 50 years ago? Dude, that was the 70s, yes. But I'll still show you, I don't care. This is Christine Jorgensen. She's a transgender woman from 1952, and the media loved her. She won Woman of the Year. Are you talking about the existence of gender identity clinics in the 60s and 70s? But maybe you need another example. What about Alan Hart, the trailblazing transgender doctor who was a radiologist and physician, saved countless lives? 1922. I don't know, maybe we need to go back further. The forgotten trans history of the Wild West. The year 1900. I would say 1890. All that I'm saying is Arthur Morgan is an ally. The number one biggest issue with transphobic people is their misunderstanding of what a trans person is and how long they've existed for. You could have answered this yourself on Google. Go to transgender history on Wikipedia. Read it again. That's all it takes. Like, you are walking around spewing a completely false opinion and just making yourself look dumb. We have unlimited information at our fingertips. This is not hard.
I think my arms look pretty good right now. But now that I have your attention, look at my new apron! As most of you know, I talk about it all the time. I work in a bakery, and of course my family knows I work in a bakery, and my aunt got me this fancy little apron so I can do my job. Tell me I don't mean fucking business right now. Like, I could make a croissant. Like, for sure. Do not fucking play with me right now. It's got these little pockets. I am just so fucking excited about my new little apron, and I wanted to tell you guys. If you're seeing this, congratulations. You've made it to Jacked Queer Baker TikTok, and I'm happy that you're here.
One thing I've had to learn the hard way as a trans woman is that you should never, ever trust the word of strangers online to tell you if you pass or not. I know it's tempting, but the honest truth is that most people, especially if you ask other trans people, they're going to lie in one of two directions. If you pass, they're going to tell you you don't. If you don't pass, they're going to tell you you do. I heard this story, and I don't know how true it is, but it's the story of a transphobic cis woman going onto a passing thread on 4chan. And she's like, I'm going to post a photo of myself, and all these transgender women are going to be so jealous of my natural beauty. But they told her she didn't pass. A cis woman. They told her, this cis woman, that, oh my God, girl, you're a brick. It just goes to show you that you really shouldn't trust the word of strangers online as to whether or not you pass. The only thing that can really tell you whether or not you pass is your real life experiences based around trying to pass. And if you constantly surround yourself with people who tell you that you pass perfectly and then you go outside into the real world and you don't, it's going to be a really, really painful experience. And I'm speaking from personal experience here.
Here's what I think that your trans haircuts say about you. Trans masculine edition. I'm not gonna get all of them because there's so many haircuts, so if there's some that you want me to see but I haven't addressed, let me know in the comments. Starting off with this classic, this bad boy over here. I had this when I was first transitioning openly and my parents didn't want me to have masculine hair, so that's what I ended up with. I'm guessing if this is what you have, you're probably going through something similar right now, or you're really into medieval roleplay. Next up, we have hair that's like kind of fluffy, but like above the shoulders. If I see you with this kind of hair, I'm gonna assume that you're starting to feel more confident about yourself. You're starting to figure out your style more and more, you know, and that like you're kind of a soft person, kind of secretly, like maybe you want to project a tough exterior, but I kind of know that deep down you're probably just a little baby kitten, let's be honest. Next up, if you have hair that's like really on the shorter side, like basically like really close to your scalp, something like this, maybe it's dyed, I'm guessing that you're like a really confident person, or at least you're like trying to project confidence. I get the sense that you're like not afraid of showing your face in its full glory. You don't need anything to like frame it or anything. You just look good the way that you are, which I really respect. I get the sense that you also are like maybe more on the creative side, or like you have like really good like original ideas, and that like you're not afraid to like stand out from like the rest. Next, if you have hair that's like short on the side but long on the top, something like this, I get the sense that you're like either a millennial, grew up around millennials, or grew up watching millennial content. If it's dyed, I get the feeling that you're kind of like wanting to like stand out more and like be like more unique and authentic, but at the same time you're still just a little bit afraid of trying something like really like out there or like crazy. If you have really long hair, like way past the shoulders length of hair, I'm first gonna think that it could be like for a cultural reason that it's so long, but if it's not, I kind of feel like you just really want to slay. Like you don't care really what like your internal gender is and like how other people expect you to present that gender. You just want to have long, beautiful hair. That or you want to really give off like skater stoner vibes. You know what I mean? The final haircut I have here is the wolf cut, or I don't know if this is specifically a wolf cut, but something like this. If you have this hair, no judgment, but I kind of feel like you just want to look pretty without having to put too much thinking or effort into it. Like you think that this haircut is like gonna solve like your self-esteem issues, which it might. It really suits some people well. I kind of tried to have this. It did not work on me. So I feel like if you're doing this just because you don't know what else to do with your hair, I feel like you could benefit from like some courageousness or like trying something new. But really like no hate or anything like that. Like this haircut, like I understand, like it's a good haircut and it's simple and it's nice. But yeah. I do want to add, by the way, that I don't know the gender of any of the people that I was showing. We were just looking at the haircuts, okay? So there's that. And also, again, if I missed some haircuts that you think are so prevalent in like the trans masculine community, let me know. You can tell that I've been like obsessing over my hair this whole video. Also, if you want me to do like a trans femme version or any other kind of version, let me know, because I'm having fun.
So who's gonna tell transgender women?
Tell them what, that they're beautiful? Me. I'm gonna tell them that I love women. Also, whilst we're at it, misogyny's kind of been pissing me off lately. Also, I'm 6'4". Also, I love women.
I've been thinking about, why am I stating my pronouns in English when I work so hard to learn, my language? Lately, I've been telling people when they ask my pronouns, I say they're contextual. And that really confuses people. So I said po and chum because that means contextual. In our language, we say po iwaiwish. That means he, she, or it is happy. And I'm a he, she, and a they, or a sir, or a lesbian, or a two-spirit, or a queer. It's all contextual for me. And it just comes where if all of us Indigenous start using our true pronouns, we're going to get a lot more than you, they, them, their, the we's and the I don't knows, and we're gonna really muck it up. It'll be great. It's an opportunity for everybody to speak some native.
Shout out to everybody's mom whose transphobic response to them coming out sounded like really close to coming out themselves. Treating transgenderism as this newfangled thing that's happening. Like that doesn't mean anything. If I was a kid today, I'd probably come out as non-binary too. Oh, if I was a kid today, I probably would have thought I was a boy too. Like, ma'am, it's not too late, right? Like, you could just do that, right? Because you're sounding real jealous that you didn't get the chance. It's a very, turf mindset, and I feel like it's a lot of projection because you felt like you didn't get the environment to figure this out doesn't mean kids today don't get to. And, you have that environment now. The culture is more accepting than it was when you were a kid. You can just do that today. It is never too late to transition. But instead, you gotta project your issue with your gender onto your kid. The number of friends I've had that have explained aspects of their gender dysphoria to their mom in, intense detail, and she's just like, oh, I have that. That doesn't mean you're trans. What? And it's not even just, the obvious things about gender nonconformity, short hair, I liked boyish things. Sometimes we're literally like, yeah, mom, I like being called he, and they're like, me too. What? I'm sorry? So cute. I was trying to film a video, but this is fine.
My name is Sasha and I'm trans, and when I transitioned, I decided to keep my birth name because I fuck with my name. My name is cool. It's a fucking Bratz doll. Like, what am I gonna be, Tony? I'm not a Tony. But in the US, Sasha is primarily a female name. And because I pass and everything, like, I kind of forget about that. But then sometimes it comes up. I'm like, I kind of wish my fucking name was Tony. Doing karaoke. I sign up with the karaoke guy as Sasha. And because my name is Sasha, he assumes I'm like signing up for my girlfriend or something. And then I'm about to walk up and I'm about to go do my performance. And he goes, let's welcome Miss Sasha to the stage. And then I fucking walk up. I think I disappoint a lot of male Uber drivers. Feel like Sasha, like that Sasha is a sexy woman. And instead they get a boy that looks like he's 15 and he's like, can you please take me to the airport? No sexy woman there. I've had people who are trying to be like trans friendly and considerate ask my name, and then when I tell them, they're like, oh no. What's your preferred name? I'm gonna freak out. Signing up for shit, trying to get a gym membership or something, and they're like, what's your first name? And I'm like, Sasha, and they're like, which what? And it is primarily, like, it's mostly female name in the US. But sometimes it's like, some people really don't know that it can be a male name. We'll never change my name though, because I am a sexy Bratz doll. I was born a sexy Bratz doll. I know these comments are gonna be like, I think Sasha's a boy's name. Some people do not know that it is.
I'm a bit confused. Hopefully y'all can help me out. I'm a detransitioner, assigned female at birth, intersex. I identify as gender fluid. That's not my question. That's just so that you understand the situation. The question is, I get called a cross-dresser quite often. I find myself wondering which direction they think I'm cross-dressing in. Am I cross-dressing when I wear a skirt or a dress? When I put on a bra because I have breasts? Am I cross-dressing when I shave my beard? Am I cross-dressing when I let my beard grow out? When I put on a little makeup, not even theatrical, artistic drag makeup, just a little foundation, blush, mascara, maybe some lashes. When I wear pants, am I cross-dressing when I wear a button-up? Am I cross-dressing when I have the buttons on the opposite side of my shirt than the side that a man or a woman is supposed to have, just like it's the 30s? Well, which is it? Am I cross-dressing as a man? Am I cross-dressing as a woman? I thought it was so easy to tell.
So from 26 to now 31, almost 32, this is what I look like, and I couldn't be happier. I felt very late. I didn't come to terms with my sexuality until I was maybe 23 or so. I didn't realize I was trans until I was 26. I started hormones right before I turned 27. So this is what 4 years on T looks like. Everyone's dosage is different. Everybody's goals are different. I just take straight old original injectable testosterone. I still have some trouble growing facial hair. It's mostly just like under here and a little bit of a mustache. I don't have much eyebrow happening. I do fill that in with a little bit of makeup, so it's fine. I think the hardest part about feeling like it's too late to go on hormones, especially as you get older, is it's so hard to get out of an established life and an established presentation that people know you as, whether it be with your job, your family, your friends. That imposter syndrome really comes into effect. There is still significant change that would happen, but it just takes time. I know a lot of people get really upset about being a year on T and not seeing as much results as they would have hoped. My first year of T, I didn't really notice much other than a couple hairs on my jaw, my voice changing, bottom growth, and definitely acne I dealt with for the first 2 years. I think I plateaued between a year and a half to 3 years on T, and then now I'm finishing my 4th year on T. I've seen the most change in the last 8 months. There are a lot of ups and downs once you start taking hormones. You'll go from euphoria to feeling like maybe you've made a mistake as you start to see the old comforting things kind of slip away a little bit, and then you get into this sort of in-between stage. I remember feeling sort of like I was an ugly woman for the first year or two. I didn't feel like a trans man, and I didn't feel sort of like the conventionally attractive woman that I looked like before. I hated being in that sort of limbo, and there's no denying that that is a really difficult period of time. But all I can say is, since I've come out of the other side of it, for me, in my experience, it was worth it. Top surgery, hormones, getting through those rough patches with acne and my body image, and I still struggle with it to this day, but it's significantly improved, and I'm happier than I ever could have imagined.
I've got this fun thing where I don't always pass as a man, but I also don't necessarily pass as a woman either. Often when I'm mistaken for being a woman, they think I'm a trans woman. And I think this is for a few reasons. First, and probably most significant, trans women are hypervisible and people forget that trans men exist. Which gives me like the sort of uncomfortable public interaction of like people are clocking me, but they're not actually sure what they're clocking me as. And secondly, cis people just do not know the effects of HRT and won't Google it. They don't know that testosterone can make your voice deep. So I've got long hair and a bunch of jewelry on, but my voice is deep and my body is hairy, and they just can't understand any other way that those things could be unless I was assigned male. The fun thing about this is that sometimes cis people, like, trying to be respectful call me she or they. Like, one time passing through security, one person called me he and the other person was like, don't be rude, and corrected them and called me she. Or I've had multiple professors call me he and then apologize and say they. Honestly, their confusion is sometimes pretty validating, but...
Yeah, so that's not happening. I'll talk about detransition on my TikTok page if I want to. And like it or not, my detransition is a lens that colors my entire life experience. Does my detransition experience mean that I'm a raging transphobe? Fuck no, I'm gonna support the fuck out of you, even if you don't like it. I'm gonna support you so hard you won't even know what to do with yourself. When we ignore detransition as a possible outcome of transition, what happens is that these people who do end up detransitioning, they get pushed into the arms of right-wingers, Republicans, and TERFs. And you know what they're gonna do with those detrans people? They're gonna coddle them and say like, oh my god, I can't believe that trans cult did this to you. They feed these vulnerable detrans people these lies about trans groomers and stuff like that. They give them an option to scapegoat the community, thus adding fuel to the flames of transphobia. I never take it personally when trans people come into my comments and they say, stop talking about detransition, or you're a transphobe, or you were just a trans trender. That one really makes me laugh. Because I understand that that's all coming from a place of fear. It's from this image that's been built up of detrans people being massive transphobes. Lucky for you, I've been in some remarkably toxic online spaces, and I can take it on the chin. To sum up again, detransition is a valid outcome of transition. And in case you misunderstood me, fuck transphobia.